Nickelback is basically fucked. Three, two, one. Fucking tired. Tired as fuck right now. Last night I had to work from like 8. We had I went to work from like 8 to like 12:30 at night. We were doing work at this hotel in a town called Stroudsburg. Actually, literally, like I could throw a rock like that kind of fucking distance from where I used to play shows. So I'm pretty familiar with the area. But yeah, we were doing some work at this hotel, and yeah, it wasn't bad. It wasn't terribly long, just we got home like super late. But dude, there was this guy who, I was like doing something, I was on the sidewalk, there was this guy who approached me from across the street, and, Stroudsburg at night, especially downtown, it's sketch, It's pretty sus there. So there was this guy who approached me, he's crossing the street. I was looking at him, he had some, like, stuff in his hands. And as he got close to me, they were air fresheners. They were AFs, and he had all these AFs kind of sprawled out. He probably had like 6 or 7 of them. And then he had those Febreze vent clips. He had a couple of those, and he was, I don't know if he's passionate about air fresheners, but like he sounded passionate, because he was like, dollar, selling these for $1, anything you want. And I was like, nah, man, I really don't need them, sorry. And I knew this guy was kind of strung out, because if you're selling that shit for $1, they don't even sell for $1 in stores. So you definitely stole them. But I felt bad for him because I could clearly see he had a drug problem. And I thought for sure me politely declining his AFs, that he'd give me, a problem. He was a white gentleman, so he kind of looked like Shia LaBeouf a little bit, but without the buff. So I thought he was for sure going to give me a problem, like, come on, like, I need this money. But he just nodded at me and said thank you and walked away. But I kind of felt bad for him, because obviously he's fighting something in his life, probably a drug issue or something like that, drug problems. And he's just out there trying to make a quick buck. And really, if I needed air fresheners, I would have bought his whole fucking stock. Fuck, dude, $1 a piece? Can't even get that in that fucking Haiti, Come on, that's a deal, bro. He probably had about 8 items, about 8 pieces. But I felt bad for him. And last night, towards the end of the job, I went in the back of this hotel. This is probably fucking like midnight. And I went to the back of this hotel. There was like a small parking lot back there. And I had to get up on the roof. Now this hotel had 3 or 4 floors. I didn't have to get up onto the highest part of the roof, but there's like a little sub-roof. So I probably had to climb like 12 feet. But I was on this roof, and it was, obviously dark out. It's fucking midnight. And I'm like cleaning these windows in this weird spot. It's hard to tell. It's hard to like explain. I couldn't see any of my surroundings, because when you're on a roof in like a city, there's always like, I don't know. I was just like in a corner. Like you went straight back, and like the more straight back you went, it just got darker and darker. And I'm trying to clean these windows, and these windows in this hotel that I was cleaning looked out onto the roof, but there was no view. There was just big AC fucking machinery there in the way. It's really hard to explain. I might even be able to insert, because I took a picture. I'll be able to insert a picture for you guys. So if you guys are watching, keep an eye out for that picture, and you'll see where I was at and what I was dealing with. So I was doing this, and it was nearing the end of the job, so I'm like, all right, not bad. And I hear what sound like Chinese fireworks. And I'm like, oh man, somebody's having a late 4th of July party. downtown. So let me turn this mic down a little bit. I have the air on. I don't want it to pick up too much. Okay, that should do. Hopefully the air conditioner isn't too loud here. I'll get a little closer. So, yeah, I was on this roof kind of working and stuff, and fucking I hear these like pops, and subconsciously I knew they were gunshots, but I didn't want to believe it because I'm actually like outside now. You know, like if I'm inside and I hear a gunshot, I'm like, oh, what the fuck is that? Go back to watching South Park. But when you're outside in the city, I was on a safe place. Nobody would ever find me there in a million years. But yeah, dude, it was gunshots. We ended up finding out because there was police officers fucking flying on this main road. It was crazy. I probably heard about 6.5 gunshots. So yeah, so somebody had a shootout, and I don't know if it was over drugs or air fresheners, but yeah, there was a shootout, man. I swear to God. Hold on, give me like 2 seconds. Okay, I turned the air conditioner off because I couldn't tell if it was too loud, so now I could turn these mics up a little bit. Yeah, dude, so there was gunshots, probably gang activity, and it was really sketchy because we were out there. And I never heard gunshots in Stroudsburg because, like I said, we played probably fucking a dozen shows in Stroudsburg, I'd say. Maybe not that much, but and we were no stranger to the nightlife there, and I never heard gunshots. Weird people, though, like it's not like a dig on people who live there because I'm sure there's not, but it's like a mini San Francisco. Like there's so much diversity, which is good. I think it's pretty cool. Like the different kinds of people who live there. It's just if it was out of my element, because where I live, everybody looks the same, just a bunch of like Caucasians in hats and stuff. But like you're out of your element over here because there's like transvestites. They call them transvestites now. Let's see, guys with skateboards. And if you don't know what a skateboard is, it's basically wood with like little cheap wheels on it. And they were riding them around. They were never landing tricks. So a lot of different people, man. But yeah. I mean, I was like within a block from the venue I used to play at when I was playing drums in my last band, and I was kind of too busy last night to like walk down there and kind of reminisce, but it did cross my mind a couple times, like, wow, like I don't know, I really miss that time playing drums, and I look back on it with good memories. So let's see what I have here, because I did bring up a couple of shit. Okay, so this one caught my eye because for two different things, because it mentions the stock market, which I'm involved in, and it mentions the collapse of the Afghan government, which I've been seeing all over the place. So let me move this mic a little bit so I can read. After 20 years in the shadows, the Taliban have returned to power in Afghanistan, raising questions about stability in the Middle East and stoking some potential unrest in U.S. financial markets amid a weekend that was rife with political developments. However, the impact to the stock market, with the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the S&P 500 Index, and the NASDAQ Composite Index trading at or near record highs, is unclear. It's a terrible situation for those U.S. folks who are still there. J.J. Kinahan, Chief Market Strategist at TD Ameritrade, told MarketWatch in email comments on Sunday, as far as the market goes, we'll have to wait and see on the longer term implications, he said. Futures, however, were tilting lower, with those for S&P 500 and the Dow and the NASDAQ 100 all showing modest declines, but hardly indicating that the market's bull run amid COVID-19 was in jeopardy. Yeah, so they're saying decline here, and then yesterday I checked my fucking Robinhood app. I checked the Robinhood app, and my fucking Dogecoin went up from like 28 to fucking 35, I think. I was like, damn. So I got paid last night, and immediately this morning I went and bought more. Because basically Dogecoin is, like, rises and falls at the hands of Elon Musk and Mark Cuban. Like, they're the biggest proponents of Dogecoin, the meme currency they call it. And I just see a striking resemblance, obviously, because it's cryptocurrency, but it's a Bitcoin. I mean, I think I said it on here before. Like, if you bought Bitcoin, if you bought $1,000 worth of Bitcoin in 2010, I mean, you'd be worth a lot of fucking money now. So I don't know. It's the risk, the little amount of money you put in now is worth what it's going to be. Like, the risk now is worth what it could be in 5 years, 6 years. So I was actually fucking excited because I checked the app last night, and I don't check any of my other stocks besides Dogecoin because it's so volatile. But yeah, I checked that and I was like, woo! I was like, damn. It went up like a lot. So I was pretty happy about that. But yeah, it's basically at the hand of Mark Cuban and Elon Musk. So every time Elon or Mark go on Twitter and talk about Dogecoin, it just fucking skyrockets for like 3 days or 2 days or a day, whatever it is. So yeah, but this whole Taliban thing, I don't know. I can't get like a straight story. President Joe Biden has rushed 5,000 troops to Kabul to secure the airport and help evacuate American diplomatic personnel, and the Pentagon authorized an additional 1,000 troops Sunday. The troop movements come as the Taliban's quick advance has stunned the Biden administration following April's announcement that the U.S. would fully put out of the country by August 31st. The U.S. presence in Afghanistan, spanning the tenures of Presidents George W. Bush, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and Biden, started following the September 11, 2001 attacks on the World Trade Center, and the Pentagon is now considered the U.S.'s longest military conflict, surpassing World War I, World War II, and the Korean War combined. Fuck. Afghanistan's totally surpassed fucking World War I, World War II, Korea, and the Korean War combined. Jesus H, dude. It's about fucking... Yeah, I'm seeing like mixed shit like on that, like whether Biden was right for doing that or whether he wasn't. I don't know. I should really like read more into this. Oh, the audio's starting to clip here. Give me like 2 seconds. I'm just gonna reset it. Okay, we're back on. Sorry, I just had to reset this clicking mic. I do have a mic at Jared's house that I do use for practice, like a real one. So I'm thinking about maybe just bringing that just to start to use because it's good quality, and these USB mics haven't really stood the test of time for my sake. I mean, I didn't pay a whole fuck ton of money for them, but I really that's what kind of keeps me from like getting more guests on here, because I'd feel embarrassed if I got to keep stopping for resetting it and shit. So I got to get that down. So yeah, but going back to Afghanistan, I got to read more up on that, because it's either I want to get the full story, because of course Fox says this, CNN says this. Don't even get me started on that fucking media rant like I had last week. I wouldn't say it was a rant, but it was just my honest thoughts. Like CNN, like the boogeyman, their boogeyman is gone. Donald Trump is out of the White House, so their next, quote unquote boogeyman is people who don't want to get vaccinated. I can't say whether I think I'm kind of on the fence with the vaccine. What stops me from getting it is it's really not for my like age group, and it's been said several times, many times. Like I'm 23. I'm healthy. I exercise a lot. Can't say I eat the best all the time, but I try to. I'm very healthy, very in shape. I'm young. So, I mean, the vaccine, I see all these articles, and New York is like, New York now, like New York City, you have to have a passport. Like, you have to have, like, oh, you want to go to the gym? Let me see your passport. You want to go to the store? Let me see your passport. Dude, it's really fucked up, man. I get it, but, like, this is like a dictatorship. Like, this is like Adolf Hitler shit, That might sound ignorant, but that's what I think. I don't think of America when I think of these things, I think of freedom and, or lack thereof these days with COVID, but, yeah, I can't believe it. Like, things, every time I keep saying, oh, things can't get any worse, or things can't get any more stupid, they just do. Dr. Fauci runs his weird fucking puppet mouth. Joe Biden sniffs another little girl's head. Like, it just keeps, this is a movie. This is like a fucking comedy movie that's really reality. And just the bar keeps being lowered and lowered. Like that South Park episode where James Cameron goes in one of those fucking sea diving like capsules, and he tries to find like the lowered bar in the sea, just to kind of raise it because he's tired of like where the world was going. That was a funny episode. James Cameron, for anyone who doesn't know, he directed the Titanic. I think so. Yeah, let's see who directed the Titanic. Who directed the Titanic? Pretty sure it's James Cameron. Yeah, it's James Cameron. Yeah, so that movie came out in 1997, and My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion. That was like the biggest song of like of like 97, 98. And yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I was just like thinking out loud. But yeah, so we got Nickelback is basically fucked. So, a man files copyright lawsuit against Nickelback over Rockstar. The song Rockstar, the 15 Cars song. A man named Kirk Johnston has filed a lawsuit against Nickelback, Roadrunner Records, Warner Chappell Music Inc., and Live Nation, stating that the band's 2005 song Rockstar is copyright infringement. According to the suit, Johnston wrote a song called Rockstar in 2001 while he was in the band's Snowblind revival and made 15 copies of the master tape, 15 Cars, to send to the record labels, including Roadrunner and Warner Chappell Music. He claims that the labels gave Nickelback access to the song and they in turn copied it. Johnston elaborated that a substantial amount of the music was copied, including the tempo, song from melodic structure, harmonic structures, and lyrical themes. He's seeking damages for copyright infringements and an order against further infringement. Wow, dude, Rockstar. And that's sad, too, because that was like the only song I liked by them. 15 cars, 15 bars. Dude, that was the only song I liked by them, though. So that sucks, but I'm not surprised. See, I think this is my thing with the band. I think they're a good band. I think they're okay musicians. None of them I wouldn't call any of them A-list musicians. A group of A-list musicians is Rush, is Queen, is Green Day, and take it from me, I'm been a musician for a long time. I know what A-list is. And on a side note, if there was one band that I would say is the greatest rock band of all time, with every member being an A-list musician, it's Rush. So I wouldn't call Nickelback, they're okay musicians, they're average. And their songs are good, but it's something about them that strikes a nerve with the public, that it's just like basic. It's very basic. It's like a white girl with Uggs on, going to Starbucks, She's got a beanie on, fucking, I don't even know, one of those puffy jackets you wear, like a South Park jacket. It's just basic music, man. But it's okay. I don't hate them. I kind of shit on them sometimes just because they're such a meme, but I don't hate them. They're average music. I just think that's what it is. It's average. It's really kind of bland. They're kind of like, they're along the lines of, let me see who else I could kind of compare them to. Kind of like Nirvana. Like, to me, it's just average. I get why it was so groundbreaking back then, but I never got, like, the big picture. I think I missed something with them. But I'm not comparing Nickelback to Nirvana, obviously, but in terms of me thinking that the music is just average, I think, that's just what I think. So they're being sued, man. So Chad Kroger's going to have to give up his 15 cars. 15 cars. Guys, look up the meme on YouTube. It's like a YT. I wouldn't even say it's like a YTP. It's just like a edit thing. Just type up 15 cars meme. It's pretty funny. They just take like the song and every word is like 15 cars. Pretty funny. And then now, this is on a more serious note. And I should have kind of put this after my story with the gunshots and when I was out last night. But mother of 21-year-old killed in New York City deli blames defund the police movement for son's murder. Marisol Sanchez calls out lack of police presence in the Bronx neighborhood. Let's read this here. The text is kind of small, so I gotta move closer. Marisol Sanchez, the mother of Jaquan Lewis, was killed in a shooting at a New York City deli last week, blamed her son's murder on the defund the police movement, and called for an increase of police presence in her community. Sanchez told Fox and Friends on Monday that she absolutely believes her son was murdered because of the lack of police officers in her Bronx neighborhood, saying, "My son would be here today had it not been for the calls to defund the police." She stressed that too many innocent people are dying for no reason, it's true, and that there are too many guns on the streets in New York City, and that's also true. The defund, and look, I've said this on here many times before. I'm no fan of the cops. I really do not like the police. I mean, just go on YouTube. I'm not going to say go on the news because I just got finished last week telling you don't believe the news, but just go on YouTube. Videos are good. What's the word I want to use? It's very, videos are proof, and it doesn't care what side you were on. That's what I'm trying to say. A video is a video, and it's non-biased. And it's non-biased proof. That's what I'm trying to say. So just watch videos of cops. Like, the cops, man, like, you'd be surprised at how much they do not know about the law in the country. And I was just telling you last week or the week before about the two guys doing the First Amendment audits. Like, they are schooling these fucking cops, and you'd be surprised just how much the lack of knowledge that these cops have, and the lack of training, the lack of experience. Excuse me. It's you'd be surprised at how quick the police would be ready to violate your rights because they don't think you know any better. I mean, they're violating people's rights every day, Searching your car unlawfully, planting shit in your car, just everything, kicking you out of a place where you belong. The list goes on, and they don't think that you know any better because they don't know any better. But the police, man, I say, I'm not a fan of the police, but I think defund the police could be the worst thing you do. I think there should be more money put into training these police officers. Like, obviously, they're not educated well enough. They sure as fuck aren't trained like they should be. I mean, if you found out like the amount of training that these police officers do to get the job in the first place and to keep the job, it would blow your fucking mind of how minuscule it is. And these are the guys who are on the fucking front line, supposed to be defending the public, checking things out. You know, what a police officer is supposed to do. They don't know about the fucking Constitution of the United States. They don't know that they're breaking it every day. They don't know how to handle situations. You know, like, there should be more money put into the police force for training, more extensive training, more extensive background checks. Because if the background checks were better, we wouldn't get this prick Derek Chauvin, killing people with his fucking kneecap. You know, like, we really, really, really need to get serious of like, it's so hard to become a Marine or a Navy SEAL, like some fucking super badass fucking guy. Like, it's almost impossible. It should be almost impossible to become a cop, man. Because when you do get cops, they're the best of the best, and they know their shit because they want to be there. They're not just bullies or power-hungry fucking pricks. They actually want to be there. It should be almost impossible for you to become a police officer. That way we get the best of the best. And the training should be, like I said, I mean, it right now, I forget. Somebody told me how much like they get, and I don't remember exactly how much, but I remember it being shocking. Like, they should be training fucking 3, 4, fucking 5 days a week, you know, like, just extensive training with guns and how to de-escalate situations and how to handle situations, how to handle different kinds of people. That's not being done. Derek Chauvin sure as fuck didn't know how to handle that situation, that benign situation. And it changed the fucking world because nobody just checked his fucking background. Nobody knew this guy was probably a psychopath troublemaker. Nobody urged him to fucking train harder. So, I don't know. Yeah, defund the police, even though I'm not a fan of them, is a horrible, horrible idea. Just look at New York City. It's worse than it's ever been. I mean, the crime rates there are worse than they've ever been. Looting and buildings being lit on fire. It's horrible. Really, really a bad idea. And then I thought this was pretty cool. Maybe not cool, but interesting, I guess. Canadians storm, so they're Canadian, so you know this is going to be fucking nuts. Canadians storm injection center amid massive anti-vaccine passport protest. Heartening footage I'm going to restart. Heartening footage out of Canada shows tens of thousands of fed-up citizens taking to the streets to protest the country's vaccine passport rollout. So even Canada's doing it. Thousands of Canadians marched in Montreal, Quebec, over the weekend to push back against the draconian vaccine passport measures being implemented in the country. A crowd of protesters even stormed a COVID vaccine and testing center, chanting "Shame on you" while holding up the signs "Our kids aren't lab rats." Whoa. And then it just has like a bunch of tweets down here. Okay, starting next month in Quebec province, proof of COVID vaccinations will be required to go to a restaurant, bar, gym, or festival. Okay, so they're doing the same fucking thing as New York City's doing. 70% of Quebec citizens have already gotten 2 doses of the experimental jab. The experimental jab. That's a good way to say it. I like that. I'm on InfoWars too, by the way. The experimental jab. It is kind of in a way, you know, like, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but fuck, like, you make a vaccine that quick, it's basically like, damn, it's like fucking damn musical chairs. Like, even a teacher don't know what the fuck's gonna happen, you know? I'm gonna jab this thing in you, you could die, you know, could be sick for 3 weeks. Experimental jab. Alex Jones, I love you. that'll be taken out of context in like 10 years, and I'll be fucking like shamed. And then, so as a lot of you guys know, I'm a big fan of comedy, but never been a huge fan of Louis C.K. But if you guys know who he is, you probably know the scandal he was in. I don't know when it was. I can't say if it was 2, 3, 10 years ago, but just look it up, because it is kind of, that's another thing I could never get like a full story on. Oh shit, I gotta go soon. Okay, so I'll make this the last one. So this is one thing I can never get like a full story on, but yeah, I mean, it was just, so embattled comedian Louis C.K. made another stab at a comeback Friday, hitting the stage in New York City without directly mentioning his mountain of sexual misconduct allegations, but performing in front of a large sorry sign just the same. But despite the several comeback attempts in 2020 and 2019 were met with organized protest, his new show in New York City last week went off without opposition, according to The Hollywood Reporter. The 53-year-old comedian, wow, he's 53, set included topics tangential to his 2 years in exile over the sexual harassment allegations. But THR noted that the comedian never directly addressed the accusations. Still, he performed his set in front of a large, brightly lit sign that read "Sorry." So it's a very comic thing to do. I don't know if he's come out. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of him. I think he's funny, just never got into him. I don't think he's come out like fully and been like, I did this for sure and I'm sorry. I think maybe he's kind of danced around it, but I don't know, and I'm probably wrong, so don't believe me. Just look up what he did, because I do have to, time kind of got away from me here. I do have to go here soon. Just look up the Louis C.K. scandal. You'll see what he did. You'll probably see way more articles and shit on it. So, yeah, but I thought that was kind of funny. I kind of snickered at that. Like, he just fucking performs in front of a big, massive sorry sign, which is very like him. But that's it. I wish I could do this longer, guys, but I do have to go do something for just a few hours, so I'll try to edit this up real quick before I go, and I'll have it uploaded by tonight. So thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Yeah.